Rockets continue to fall throughout Israel. Operation Protective Edge enters day 10. U.S. President Obama hopes for a ceasefire. And 4 Israelis indicted for the murder of an Arab teen. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. Here are the headlines for Thursday, July 17th. Southern and central Israel came under rocket fire on Thursday morning, with barrages hitting north of Tel Aviv, as well as Beersheba, Kiryat and Kiryat Malachi. Also on Wednesday evening, rockets were fired into Ashkelon and Ashdod. In total, around 130 rockets were fired into Israel throughout Wednesday. The IDF says around 80 of those were intercepted by the Iron Dome. Hamas and Israel agreed to a 5-hour humanitarian pause in the fighting to allow for relief aid into Gaza on Thursday between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. On Thursday afternoon, the BBC reported that Israel and Hamas had reached an official ceasefire during talks in Egypt, which would take effect Friday at 6 a.m. Neither side had confirmed the report. IDF forces foiled an attempt by Hamas to infiltrate a kibbutz in Israel near the Gaza frontier on Thursday. Soldiers manning the border area identified 13 terrorists who crossed into Israeli territory near Kibbutz Sufa through a tunnel that was dug in the southern Gaza Strip. The army, quote, neutralized the threat. Throughout Wednesday, the IDF targeted over 170 terror sites in Gaza. During one strike, 4 young children were killed while playing soccer on a beach. The international community condemned the killing, while the IDF said they were investigating the incident and that the deaths of non-combat civilians was, quote, tragic. In total, 230 Palestinians have been killed during Operation Protective Edge. President Obama spoke out about the latest escalation in violence between Israel and Gaza on Wednesday evening, saying that he sees a need for a ceasefire.
As I've said repeatedly, Israel has a right to defend itself from rocket attacks that terrorize the Israeli people. There's no country on earth that can be expected to live under a daily barrage of rockets. And I'm proud that the Iron Dome system that Americans helped Israel develop and fund has saved many Israeli lives. But the Israeli people and the Palestinian people don't want to live like this. They deserve to live in peace and security, free from fear. And that's why we're going to continue to encourage diplomatic efforts to restore the ceasefire, and we support Egypt's continued efforts to bring this about. Over the next 24 hours, we'll continue to stay in close contact with our friends and parties in the region, and we will use all of our diplomatic resources and relationships to support efforts of closing a deal on a ceasefire.
The state on Thursday indicted 3 Israeli men for the murder of Muhammad Abu Qadir, the 16-year-old Palestinian from the East Jerusalem village of Shuafat. Abu Qadir was abducted, brutally murdered, and burned on July 2nd. He was forced into a car while waiting to enter a mosque in East Jerusalem. He was allegedly targeted because he was an Arab, and the 3 Israelis admitted that they killed him as revenge for the murders of the 3 yeshiva students killed in the West Bank. 2 of the men responsible for the murder, a 29-year-old and a 16-year-old, were also charged with attempting to kidnap a 7-year-old Arab boy the day before the murder. And that's all for today. We'll be back on Sunday with more headlines. For now, the Jerusalem Post Studios wishes you a quiet and safe weekend.